I'm glad you said how you know, far as you got all them girls from my brother, because that's how he was with the chick. He was a ladies'
Oh
man,
yeah,
so he ain't never have no problems, yo. Yo,
none.
I remember at 12 years old, right, when this dude was 12 years old. Yo, he used to have this 18-year-old girl that had a summer job, yo. Yo, she used to buy him and me sneakers, yo.
I believe. I know. I know. I know. Y'all, yo, bro, y'all was
To buy
grown men.
both of us sneakers. I'm like, I'm 13. This chick 18. She had. You remember the summer jobs was banging, yo. Me and Twan used to meet at remember City Bargains in Fort Greene?
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
They had all the
Yes.
Pumas and the Adidas and all. Yo, we every time she got, I ain't gonna say every time, but at least quite a bit of times when she got paid, we meet at City Bargains, yo. And she just go ahead, get what y'all want.
Twan was the man, yo. I'm telling you, y'all was the yo. You and your brother, man. And I and one thing I wish he was here because he didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
To
Yep.
me, I know he didn't deserve that. Like, he didn't ever really bother nobody. He just was that man, just that guy with the, you know what I'm saying? You just had to deal with that. He didn't come in your presence with like rudeness. He
Right.
just was fly. Yeah, fly ass dude. And the girls, it's like when he walked in the room,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like they attracted him like
Like a
he
that's
never
it.
ever spoke yet. He just walked in and they, oh, just a smile. What's your name? They come to him, and then that's when he just start talking, and they start listening. And I'm sitting there right with him listening too. But I don't have no game, so I'm just listening how he's doing it.
Look, at least you could admit it. Like me, I keep it real, yo. You know, I ain't had no
I'm
game.
keeping it real, but I never was a liar. I was an honest person. I learned that from your brother and you. I never seen y'all do nothing wrong to
Nah, but
nobody.
only time,
Really, bro.
look, only time I ever had to lie was back when I was younger, when I was seeing
With my
multiple.
mother. Yeah,
Look,
that's it. Yeah,
no, but when I was seeing multiple women, or if I was in the police station being questioned, that's the only time I ever had to lie. Now,
me
I don't,
too.
being that I don't do none of the, far as cheating and, being in the
Right,
streets,
right,
getting arrested, ain't nothing else to lie about.
right. Ain't nothing. I tell dudes when they used to be like, yo, right now on my job, we have a conversation. Be like, yo, you lying? Yo, why would I lie to you? And dude was like, what you mean? You ain't my mother or my father. The only two people I ever really, really lied to so I wouldn't get an ass whooping was my mama and my daddy.
Right. That's
You
even farther back
can't
then.
whip my ass, so I ain't got no reason to lie to you.
True that. True that.
You ain't whipping my ass. I let nigga know straight up, bro. I don't give a how big you is, none of that. We gonna scrap. As long as we fight, you ain't whipping no ass. I know that I can handle myself.
And you be
But
correct.
I learned that from your brother too. I learned that from y'all, man. I watch y'all fight, bruh. I did
Yo,
not understand. Y'all had some boxing skills out of the world, bruh.
yeah.
I'm telling you, I was 12 and 13, grown ass men.
Yo, look. When we was about 9 years old, right? One Christmas we woke up. I was 9 and he was 8.
Yeah.
My pops bought us some boxing gloves. Yo, when we woke up and seen them shits, we already knew what time it was. Yo, we was fighting against each other. Yo, he came out the room, dying, laughing like a motherfucker. Like, damn, I ain't even have to tell y'all. I wanted to look at y'all and put them on, and y'all, yo, we was already thumping from 9 and 8, yo,
Already thumping, yo. Already
throwing
thumping.
blows, yo, back and forth, yo. That shit was funny. I remember that like yesterday, yo.
Now, I couldn't afford boxing gloves,
Right.
but we did the same thing, me and my younger brother. My older brother wasn't no fighter, but my younger brother, he thought he could handle a lot. We would his father used to make us put socks on
Right.
and put a ball of sock around you, so you won't hurt each other.
Right.
And he make us fight, man, because I could fight, he couldn't.
Right.
And he was younger than me. And he was like, y'all don't come from the same dad. I see your dad was about it in Brownsville. We already know. So Freddie Banks was about it. So he like, yo, you know, box with your brother. I'm like, I ain't beating on my brother. What
Right.
do you mean beat? He can't beat me. When I box, I fight seriously. I'm not boxing him. And my stepfather made me beat him up. But I
Right.
never beat my brother up. I was boxing him, but I wasn't hitting him hard. But he wanted me to hit hard, and then he hit me hard. That's when I said, okay. Then I had to put it on him. But that's how we started. We had to learn. And Butch, my uncle,
Right.
rest in peace. This is 224 now. When he came into my life, because my mother kept me away from that family because they was into what? Drugs, alcohol. That's what they sold.
Right.
And they got rich off that, and they opened construction companies and things like that to wash everything in clubs. Nobody understood that. But then when my mother introduced me to my side at 12 years old, she told me about my real father.
Right.
I always thought my stepdad was my real dad, but I swear to God. And then, when she told me about my real father, and she told me about his family, she said, they live right there. They live on the 13th floor, Buddha and them.
Mm.
Yeah. You be with them every Saturday on the weekends in Brownsville, them their family. And so I was already connected with them, so it didn't even matter. But my uncle,
Right.
he took a real liking to me because he knew I was with you dudes.
Right.
That's all he kept saying was, yo, what y'all be doing together? But I didn't know y'all was doing that. He was just saying that, yo, them dudes is doing something you don't know. Nah, bro. They don't. I play basketball with them brothers. Them brothers don't do none of that with me. They not even like that. But you know what I'm saying? You fuck with them, you gonna see something. They don't play about none of that. They serious about that. Do not play with us. We respect y'all. They're gonna have to respect us. If you violate that, it's over. Somebody gotta leave.
Right.
That's how y'all carried it, and I respect that. Y'all carried it just like that. Somebody gotta leave. It took you and your brother to calm 50 Cent down.
Oh nah.
Niggas would say,
No. I gotta go back on that because he did not fuck with Twan. He didn't like Twan. He knew Twan, but with me and him, we could talk. Cause see, 50 did
oh,
something.
okay.
50,
I knew he.
yeah.
Twan didn't like him.
He ain't fuck with Twan. He ain't want no parts of Twan. But see
No
what it
parts of
was,
Twan.
me and 50 did something. 50 did two things for me, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna never forget it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Okay.
always had a little spot for him for me, that's why I used to be like, like trying to I'll be the one who calmed the shit down, you know what I'm saying? So but nah,
Right.
he ain't want no parts of Twan, at all. No parts.
Oh, don't let me forget this. That was the reason why he apologized to me. Oh, I gotta tell another story, man. When I went to my high school, you probably don't even know this, man.
Yeah.
You don't know this, yo. I went to high school, right?
Right.
And you can't bring guns with you. So I was just learning, boxing, fighting. I beat up all the dudes around the way because your brother showed me how to fight. So nobody would want to fight me around the way. But now I'm going outside, and remember Understanding from Tompkins?
Not really. I can't say I do. I gotta see a photo of him.
His name was Understanding was his righteous name, but he ran around. He was from Tompkins. He ran around like just robbing everybody. So one day, your brother took me to the lady that made gold fronts. You know what I'm saying? Because he took all of us to that lady that made. Remember, she was in the basement, and
Right.
you could get your gold front for $50 or one or two. So he took me to that lady, and I got my two fronts made. And it was me, Andre Gerard, because he never was like that. He always was a good guy.
Right.
Andre, we all went Saturday with your brother, and she measured our joints.
Right.
And we gave her the money, and we got to come back in like 4 days, and she gonna fit them. So what happened was they went back before me.
Right.
Because we still was living with our parents. So I had to listen. So I couldn't go that day. So I snuck down there to East New York to get my fronts. Guess what happened is two dudes from Tompkins standing right there. So one of the dudes asked me on some old grimy shit. I'm a little young kid. I ain't doing all that. I'm playing ball. He like, yo, let me see your fronts. I show it to him. He kept it. Right? So now he robbed me one time. And I'm a little dude, he an older dude, so I ain't say nothing. I go to the project, I ain't say nothing to your brother, I ain't say nothing to nobody. Nobody should know this. So I go back one day to Eli Whitney High School. That's the first school I went to.
Right.
Y'all went to Princeton, I went to Eli Whitney.
Right.
When I went to Eli Whitney, them dudes came up there, snuck in the back door. That same dude seen me, he was like, yo, come here. Rob me again. This time, I had say nothing. I go to the project. I ain't say nothing to your brother. I ain't say nothing to nobody. Nobody should know this. So I go back one day to Eli Whitney High School. That's the first school I went to.
Right.
Y'all went to Princeton. I went to Eli Whitney.
Right.
When I went to Eli Whitney, them dudes came up there, snuck in the back door. That same dude seen me. He was like, yo, come here. Robbed me again. This time, I had on my big chain because I was hustling.
Right.
I had on chains and watches and shit. So he took all that. I ain't say nothing, yo. I swear to God, bar, I ain't say nothing. I don't want to come home and tell niggas. But in the projects, I'm beating dudes up. But out here, I'm a little scared because I ain't got a gun. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't scared of them dudes. They was older than me, so I ain't know what to do.
Right.
And plus, it was 2 against 1. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know what to do. But I was on a basketball court playing basketball. And I see your brother coming down my building. And guess who he got with him? Understanding. And the dude, and the other dark-skinned dude, his name was, I can't remember his name, so I ain't gonna lie, but he had a righteous name too, 5% name. And they came in the basketball court. Now, all my friends is there, Madge, Bubbles, you know, Derek, Gary, all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, but they
Trevor.
wasn't that you know they was just regular doing but
Yeah, they was regular. I was regular.
Right.
I wasn't really doing nothing, but your brother
That's
was.
when you was regular too.
Right, I was regular, but
Right.
I was hanging with y'all still.
Right.
You know, I go to school with y'all. Now I'm regular. We're not in the same school no more. But dudes think I'm doing what y'all doing, and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm regular.
Right.
But your brother knew that, and he knew that these dudes shouldn't have robbed me because all them chains I had, I worked for that. You know what I'm saying? I put in work with your brother, and that's how I got what I had. But I had too much on, and I wasn't built like that really at the time.
Right. Right.
Now, your brother walks down Dead Man Hill right past my building. And I'm going to say these niggas' names because they ain't nobody.
Nah, leave that.
All right, I won't do that. But